Hey, Kate.
Happy Friday. Happy first day of spring.
That's right. It's the first day of spring. You can't tell here, but
it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, everyone is here. Everyone who's anyone.
Yay.
I see it, everybody here. It's awesome to have everybody. Janice, of course, is moderating the stream, and we are going to work on your open weave with the mini duos. I'm super excited.
Me too. I love this one. It has a really easy to remember thread path that adds a lot of stability to it.
Oh, I love it.
So that they stay, the beads stay in position, like in the stitching. So it's really nice.
It's so great. Well, when I'm going to talk about all things the mini GemDuos in a second, but I wanted to show, I was cleaning up today and I was chatting with Danielle before the show, and Danielle sent me these beautiful earrings. I'm going to say, Danielle, it's almost like 8 years ago, 7 years. I don't know. It was a while back.
It could be long. I mean, it could have been as far back as maybe like 2017. Gasp.
Yeah, it could be 2017. I mean, right?
I can't remember
so much. So I was thinking, wouldn't this be a fantastic project from Danielle? I just love them for summer. They have, you folks might remember, and you might have some of these in your stash from Beadshop years past, where we had these little rice beads and these little saucer beads. So I'm going to see if I can get those back in. This is herringbone, flat herringbone, right?
Yep.
So great with these long, and they're really light. Look at how great they look. This is I put this on. This is my summer vacation dress because it's going to be hot here. It's going to be 90 degrees here today. So I'm like, I'm just going to pretend I'm on a cruise and wear a cruise outfit. But these are so fun for summer and for spring. Cool. So we will pick out a date and find this, because you did this with 11-aughts, I think, right?
Yeah, those are made of some 11-0. Looks like I was in my Picasso seafoam phase at the time.
Right. We should just try and make these exact ones because the color story is so good.
Those were fun. Yeah, I think there is even already like a diagram floating around out there.
I love it.
It might be floating around in the bead table somewhere if I remember, but I have to refresh my memory.
Yeah, I think you did it to post on the bead table. So it might actually be in the files, but we will why Janice is texting me. All right. There we go.
Definitely worthy of a respin though on those, because that could be so cool.
Yeah, this will be really fun. So I'm going to see if we can find some of these little beads for the bottom, or we'll figure it out. We'll find something. But I love them. They're really light. Yeah, and the Picasso seafoam and coral. So let's put this on the list, JP, because I think this would be really a really fun one to do. I love them.
It's so nice for summer. They have that beach feeling.
Yeah, there we go. Let me kind of
definitely good for a cruise.
Yeah, I love it. I love them. So that being said, my friend, another great project for spring going into summer is this beautiful, sorry. Don't need, what's going on here? Sorry about that. Hello. Once Lisa Kelly calling me when I was on a broadcast, so I put her on the broadcast with the phone. It was funny. This was nothing I needed to, everyone's here that I want to talk to. Anyway, let me try that again. So this mini GemDuo project that you've done, you did a really terrific handout for it. We've got the handout linked. So if you're watching us on YouTube, look below and everything is linked. Neon Notebook is linked. All the mini GemDuos that we're using, the handout that you created, it's all right there. So check it out right there. But let's jump into it. Why don't you share some ideas? I know you've done some things with the other GemDuos we're carrying.
Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten your GemDuos yet, you can jump over to all of our GemDuos that we've got and play around with the color stories. But I'm excited to see how this goes.
It's really fun. And there's a really easy to remember and like self-reinforcing thread path that I stumbled into when making this 2-column version of right angle weave. I think just makes it a lot easier to get a result that you're happy with, because sometimes right angle weave is a really loose stitch, and it's struggles. For me, it was a struggle to get an even result where they all line up, especially with a bead that can wobble a little bit and move around.
Right.
So I was really happy with how this worked out. It was started as just a complete experiment, and then, just try a traditional stitch with a different bead that you're trying out. And that was the genesis of it. And yeah, I'm so happy with it. And then I started playing the patterns once I got the other colors. So here's a little stripey one.
Oh, so cute.
I really like how it looks from the reverse side too. I like the reverse side of Mini GemDuo and GemDuo. They're like kind of flat,
Yeah, let me see. That's nice. Yeah, look at that.
It really flows the way that the ombre works in that.
Yeah. And so you used a bunch of the different colors so it kind of ombres through.
Yeah, in this case I went from the gold splash black to the bright gold, and then I moved that up into this bronzy one, and then into the kind of rosy champagne-y clear one, and then just went up and down the hill. So it would go up to the rosy color, back down to the gold splash black, and then up again.
Really great. It really has an elegant look to it. I just love it. And you use that same black seed bead, the black 11-aught, as the background, but you could choose if you wanted to lighten it up, you could lighten it. You could, whatever you want that kind of that background 11-aught to be, you can also really change things up. It really looks terrific. I love it. And I know that last time people were saying it would also make a really great like choker, right?
Yeah, it would.
Really good.
Definitely. And there's lots of different ways you can make the pattern go. So there's 2 ideas in the handout, but they're not the only ideas. One of them I think would be great with just 3 colors, because it could bring, basically you would treat each of these as a row and go from one color to the second to the third, and then back to the second and back to the first.
Nice.
Working in the stripe that direction versus this direction.
Right.
So many cool ideas.
Love it.
And then also just a good solid color also looks amazing if you don't want to worry about patterning and stuff. So yeah.
Love it.
And so I can go ahead and cut some thread. I did work with Fireline. It's a 6-pound Fireline, but I think this is one of those where a stronger thread really works nicely. So if you want to go with like one of the, 6 or 8-pound threads, or even like a wildfire, the stronger the better, because it's a structured stitch that benefits from those kind of threads, I think.
Okay. And then the handout, do you have a copy of the handout there, Danielle?
Oh, I do. Yeah, let me go ahead and just pull it up really quick.
Let's just take a look at it real quick. You can find this link below the YouTube video here. You can also find the link over on the Neon Notebook page, or the project page, Danielle's project box pages over on beadshop.com as well, under projects. You can find them.
Did you want me to bring it up on the screen?
Oh, sure. Sure.
I might be able to. Yeah, let me see if it'll let me do it.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It looks like it'll let me upload it. So,
all right.
There it is.
Love it.
This is processing.
But it's really a great, oh yeah, I see it right there.
I think it'll let me add it. Let me try. There it goes. Okay.
Great.
So it's basically just your standard right angle weave, where you start with a cluster of what's usually 4 beads. But if you would like to do it with a little seed bead in between, it gives it more dimension. And so it's 8 beads, but we're really just treating that as like a 4 bead. I've heard it called like a little kernel before. I don't know why it's called kernel, but that seems to kind of fit. I don't know why, but and I was able to work the whole design, starting with between 70 to 80 inches of thread. And then I leave a 15-inch tail just to do a little attachment for the clasp at one side.
Nice.
And what's cool about it is after you build the first segment, and the trick here really is going around each of them twice. So you reinforce each loop 2 times, but then you see where you use the central, usually the one in the center, as a step through. So there's a term in here that I introduced called stepping through, which is basically going through one hole and then going right through the second hole of that bead, which is, you could call it a step up too. Brings you to a spot where you need to be, and in this case, you're heading to the right to start a new one. But then what I did after creating the new one is I stepped back through the center one to start another one right on the left, and that ended up really, because I was getting, when I first started doing it, I was working one side and then working the other side, and then it would switch direction back and forth, which is more like you see how right angle weave's usually taught that way. Leaving the section on the right with an open in the middle between the center GemDuo and the one that's kind of pointing up from there. And I was noticing a little gap there, and it was causing one side to have a loose bead. So this actual step of going back through the center, for some reason, that was just like the secret sauce to make this thing really, really pop. So I just follow that throughout. And so you end up not having to learn 2 thread paths. It's the same one through the whole thing.
Oh, that makes that you're so clever with these darn seed beads, Danielle.
Oh, thanks. It was just kind of like more of like a stumble into it because of necessity kind of thing, you know, where something wasn't working and it was getting kind of like tedious, and you don't want to teach something tedious, right? And so it really made sense to just keep going back through that center one. And you'll see it when it works up. It's like, it seems like you're doing something extra, but it's just so nice. And then you're just repeating step 3 through step 5 the whole time. All right. Your desired length. And then at the end, it's really easy. You just throw those 4 seed beads in a clasp in between the 2 edges ones. And then there's some pattern inspo there, some colors, and that's all there is to it.
That looks great. And you could put any type of clasp on. You've used the little lobster clasp with some jump rings, but you could choose whatever clasp that really worked for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful clasps here are so awesome. And even like a magnetic one. I do love those cute magnetic ones that you guys have.
Yeah, they would work.
One of those on there.
Yeah.
So cool.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and solo your project again. And Janice put the link up to the handout. Right now, the link is on the homepage of beadshop.com, as well as down below here on the YouTube channel. You can grab all the links down below. But yeah, download that handout and grab your neon notebook and let's get to stitching.
Yay! Let's bring my light over. See, it seems like it's so dark here, so I'm just trying to brighten things up.
Right.
But so, you know, just for like the ease of showing it, I'll just go with like the solid color from the box, but just know that all these beautiful colors could really, unless you want to, we could always do a pattern too. I think we'll have time.
Yeah, well, let's just jump in with wherever you think. But the patterns are fun. You've really showed those. So I think people can really do some improvising too.
Yeah, those are really cool. And it's really just the same thing over and over. So once you got it, you got it.
Right.
And let's see, I'm just going to cut some thread really quick. And again, just kind of like 60 to 70, or 70 to 80 inches actually, because you want to have full length. You're gonna start to run short if you cut just a wingspan, which for me is like 60-ish inches. Right. But if you treat your tail as an addition to your wingspan, you'll get a lot closer to without having to add thread.
Nice.
And so there's the Mini GemDuo and some 11.0. Fun to play with different colors, metallics, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm hoping that people are enjoying the Mini GemDuos as much as we are enjoying them. I have yet to kind of really do a deeper dive into them, but it's on my list.
I love them. They're fun. All these 2-hole beads, they just give so many good ideas.
Yeah, they really do.
And so there was one little extra thing that I threw right at the beginning for getting started that I think also helps with stabilizing the first stitch. Creating that first one can be kind of wonky, but if you use the step through idea for the first bead, it has two benefits. One is it makes it so that your tail's not moving around when you work, but it also puts the tail right where we want it for doing the clasp later.
Oh, so smart. Well, Gina is popping in and saying, hello, Danielle. And it's little tips like this that makes it so easy. She says, first time watching a live. I've learned so much from watching your videos. Thank you. So
thanks, Gina.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice compliment.
Yes. We really appreciate you being along for the ride.
Oh, thank you. And so this is the, and I forgot to say that they do have like a dome side and a flat side. And so I'm working with the flat side down and the dome side facing up. And so at this step, it doesn't matter which, but as long as you go through what's kind of like the bottom hole when you get started and leave that 15-inch tail will be on your right. And so for me, that's here. I'm just going to make sure that I leave about 15 inches or so. There we go. And then you'll just go through the second hole. So that will be the one right above it. I'm just remembering to keep that 15-inch tail there.
Right, because you're going to need that to close it up, right?
Yep. And now it's going to be right where we want to have it for later. We won't have to weave it around to get where
we
need it.
Right, very smart. There was a question from Anne, and she's asking, could this bracelet be made with regular GemDuos?
Yeah, I think it can.
Yeah, it would just be scaled up, right?
Yeah, it would. The 11-Os are going to look a little smaller next to the bigger GemDuo, but I think the 11-Os actually would still work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a cool thing. I would be interested to see, just try it just to see what it looks like. You'd get a different appearance, and it might be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But so from here, when you pick up the next bead, just kind of try to visualize. You don't have to worry about it as much on the later ones as you do on the first one, but we're going to pick up an 11-O and then go through the next GemDuo. And if you have it facing dome side up, you want to go through the left side of that bead. And you'll see it, like if you're looking at the picture in the diagram, you'll just see like, oh, it's going to line up like that. Like a little compass. So another one. And again, you're just picking up, in this case, you'd be picking it up from the bottom or the left if you're aligning it that way. And then once again, picking it up on this side. So far we have that. And we need to add one more 11-O. You should have 4 of each bead. So 4 GemDuos or mini GemDuos and 4 11-O. And then when you pass back through the first one, it's going to make a ring. But we want to go back through the side that isn't the tail. So originally when we strung it, I'm flipping it, but there's our tail side. And this is the side we're coming out of and going around. We want to go through this direction. So we're forming a loop, and you'll know you got it because when you tighten it all up, the loop will form. And just if you get that kind of compass point, you got it.
Great.
And so I like to reinforce all of these, like every single stitch, I'll just go back around it. So in this case, just finding out where I am here. Go through the 11-O, the next bead. And see, it's still pretty loose, but this is going to really fix that.
And you're using, Danielle, a size 10 beading needle and a 4-pound Fireline.
Yep, 4-pound. You could use 6-pound. Mm-hmm. Like really any of those, weights are going to work really well.
Great.
But I wouldn't use like a size B, like a KO or any of those. Those are going to be a little tougher.
Right.
It's possible, but you'll have a looser result.
Right. Because this is really something for the Fireline because you want it to be stiff.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely helps a lot to have just that
Or be
reinforcement.
supported. Yeah. I don't know if stiff is the right word, but you want it to have that tautness to it.
Exactly. And it's really noticeable too, I think, when working with the same is true for me when I'm working with herringbone.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed a real improvement if I use a stronger, like a thicker thread, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But so there is the that first step all done. And then from here, you can use your tail as kind of your to orient you, knowing that this is kind of the one that you'll have pointing downwards. We're going to use the center one to travel to step through. Sorry, it's really tiny, but I need to go through the 11-0 and then the next Mini GemDuo and then just jump over the roof. So we'll go through the 11-0 and the next Mini. So that puts you exiting from here. And if you just go through the second, the open side of that one, that puts you right in the spot you want to be to start a new stitch. And then from here, you're going to have, we're going to use this one as one of the sets of 4. So you're only going to need to string 4 of the 11-0s and 3 of the minis. So we'll go with one of those. And then here's the second one. And the third one. So you'll have that so far. And then you're going to need one more 11-0. And you can bring that right back through to connect another little segment there. And I was thinking with this super long tail, a super long tail at the midpoint would be a great way to do a choker. So you're not wielding this, like it's a lot of thread.
Right, right. So you could start in the middle and work your way to the right and the left.
Yeah, and that could be easier for getting a necklace going.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going around again.
Someone's asking here, if you use regular GemDuo, would you go up to an 8/0 in between, Danielle? Or would you keep the 11? I mean, maybe we could try a little segment at the end if you've got some regular GemDuos floating around there.
I might, yeah. I might have some floating around, but I think I think this is a hunch, but I feel like the 11-0 being tight brings the points closer together.
Yeah, I would feel the same. And I don't want to remove you from doing this technique now. Maybe we can, you know, take a look at the regular GemDuo at the end if there's time.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it would work. I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't. You know, I feel like it would.
Yeah, I feel like
of course you just get a different. You know, you just get a different look every time you switch something out. But that's actually the
fun of it.
The way that you come up with stuff. You know, you try the things and see if they work. But so there is. I reinforced that around. So we strung it, went back to the first one, and then I just made another trip all the way around. And now I'm back at the center. And I'm going to do that little step where I'll turn and go through the other hole of that center Mini GemDuo there. So going through that one. And then I want to get over here. So I need to go through the 11-0 and go through that GemDuo and then step through it by going through the hole this way and then turning and heading that way through it. So usually I can get through the 11-0 and the Mini.
All in one.
And this picks up, you get really quick at it, and you'll find that it goes really fast, even though it kind of doesn't seem like it now. It really does. The speed gets much better. So there's that turn to go through the other one. And there you are.
Look at that. Done.
And so from here, it's just like a lot of the same thing. I'm going to pick up. I wrote it as like 11-0 Mini GemDuo times 3 plus 1 11-0. And you just want to make sure you're picking them up with their dome sides down. through the left side hole is usually how I try to visualize it.
Right, right.
And then one more 11O, making you a total of 4 11Os. And then your 4 GemDuos you have, if you count this one, we're about to go back through.
Right, because the one is already on there.
So there's that one. And then again, I'm going to reinforce that little attachment around. Tail thread likes to join the party there.
Yeah. Right angle weave is a really handy stitch to conquer. I feel like it sends my brain a little fuzzy, but once I get started with, like you say, it really does go into a rhythm.
Yeah, it's easy to visualize after you've got a few in place too. It's that first two, getting those first two going, because everything's kind of moving around.
Yeah.
And so the more you can stabilize it, the more you can visualize where you are and have that kind of direction. And so there's the second one reinforced.
Look at that. Oh, it's just so cute.
The little compasses.
Really great.
Like I really want to make a solid silver one. I feel like that would be really fun, like metallic beads with.
Yes.
So cool.
It would have kind of almost a chainmail kind of a feel to it almost.
Yeah, it would. Oh my gosh, that would be neat. Gold too. Gold would be.
Yeah.
Really fun.
I love the two metallics and then with that splash, the jet splash. Look at those three together. Really good.
That could be a really neat pattern.
Really nice.
So yeah, there's sky's the limit on that. And so from here, we're just repeating here, getting to like around between 3 and 4 step, traveling through this 11O, and then through the next mini, and then we'll do another step through of that center mini. So going through those two, and then stepping over this one. And then from here, just start a new section. So there is something here that's to note is that you already have now in this, when we did the first set, we didn't already have a bottom in place. So we had to string 3. But here now we've got this one in place. So you just string an 11O and go through it. And so when you do that, it'll connect the two. So just like that. And from here, you'll need 11 and a GemDuo, 11, a GemDuo, and another 11. And you'll head through the center one.
Nice.
And there's the edge.
Now there's a question here from Dawn. Could you stitch something in the center of the motif like a Rosemonte, like the stitch in Rosemontes we have?
Oh yeah, and I think that I have this memory of a project that Beadshop has on the website where you did fire polish or crystal. It was just seed beads, but you had that showed how to put stuff in it. So you made the net and then you put
right. Yeah, I think Emily did that one. I think no, it was the flat. It was the flat right angle weave where she then went in and embellished. Yeah.
I think it would work. You'd probably want to make the whole bracelet first.
Right. And then come in and embellish it afterwards. And I think that's what Emily did, was she made the right angle weave base and then she came in and embellished on top of it.
Yeah, and I believe she did it with 11-0, so it was a two-walled, so it was
Mm-hmm.
8 11-0s. And then she treat each two as a wall,
Mm-hmm. I think
which
that's
gives
right.
you equal distance. This one with the mini GemDuos, your middle section is larger than the centers of the compasses.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would have two different bead sizes happening there. This is definitely getting into the realm of like 3 or even 2 millimeter. This middle one, you might be able to get a 4 millimeter in.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not sure if I remember, but a rose motif are those.
Yeah, they're about a 4, maybe a 3 or a 4. It should probably work.
That might work, yeah.
I think, yeah, especially if you play around with it. And so Michelle is asking about the dimension, the measurement of the 4 compass points. She wants to calculate how many tubes we're going to need. Do you use just one tube of the GemDuos?
Yeah, this bracelet, I didn't even use a whole tube for this. I had leftovers to do the other bracelet that I did, and there was also another quick little design where Nile used a few of them.
Oh, great.
So that one, I think I could have made this one even longer. Each one's going to give you what looked to me to be about 1/2 inch.
Okay.
Point to point. But then keep in mind that you share them. So each new row isn't going to give you a full 1/2 inch. It's only going to give you more than a 1/4 inch, but less than half. It's somewhere around there. But this one,
but definitely a single tube per bracelet, if you're doing it in a single color, should work.
I think so. I got 6 inches without even using the full tube, and that's before I put my clasp on.
Right.
And so the number of repeats that has is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17. And then I was just trying it on as I go. See how many. But yeah, I think one tube will get you there, unless you want to do some patterns, and then in which case you might get more than a couple bracelets out of it.
Right.
Like this one where I used 4 colors, I'm going to get a lot of beads out of it. So let's see. So this one here, I did 17 repeats on that one as well. And it used about that much. And so I don't think it even used more than 1.5 grams of each tube.
Very nice.
I'm guessing, but yeah, I think you'll get a pretty good length out of that. Yeah, and so let's see, from here, I had just connected those around. So what I did not do yet is reinforce it. So I just need to weave through and reinforce one time, and it's really worth doing. You can skip it if you want, but it made a huge difference for me for how I felt about the finished piece. When I did that. And when I skipped it, you could see where I skipped it, and I actually would take a thread and weave back through it afterward to make it consistent, right? But once you get to the middle one, you can stop there after you've done your reinforcing around. That'll be two whole passes around, and you can just step back through by going through the second hole in that one, which brings you here, and then back to where we were. You want to step up through the top one here. So we're going to go through the 11-0 and the mini GemDuo here, and then we'll turn and go through that. And so that's pretty much all there is to it.
Really nice. I think people are really loving this. There are, so Aleda's saying about 126 of the mini GemDuos is what you need for that bracelet. And Mary is saying, can you please give the actual names of the bead colors in the 4-color bracelet you made?
Oh, sure. Yeah, in that one, I started with the Gold Splash Jet. And then it goes into the this one, which is just the regular gold. Actually, it's called Crystal Full Amber.
Yes, and I think it's the it's just the coating. But yeah, I call it a gold too, but it really is like that amber. But I love it.
I was expecting it to say like metallic gold or something.
Right, right,
This is that crystal orange rainbow, which to me, I've always just seen this as a rainbow bronze.
right. Sometimes they call it metallic mix too. They
Metallic
call it
mix. Yeah. The fire
yeah.
polished strands like that are called that.
Right.
Good one. And then this one is really pretty. This is that crystal violet luster. And to me, it looks like a rose with a little bit of gold flash on it.
Right.
And that is a transparent. Really beautiful combo. And on this one, the pattern that I worked was just the stripes. That's the one, that's the second illustration on that last page.
Mm-hmm.
It really does have a cool look to it.
Really great.
And so the next thing I want to do is create a 3-way one. So this one is going to have, I think I'm going to put the silver maybe in the center.
That'd be pretty.
Have the second color that comes out next would be this one. So a design like that is going to use more of the colors you do on the edge than in the center. The center one, it's only going to use a few. So if you're getting low on a color, use that as the center color. And then you'll end up with using twice as much for the two colors that become this one and that one. And making that pattern is going to be a little more concentration heavy, because as you create each of these sections, you're going to have to really pay attention to which one is which one. So the center ones are always going to be a certain color. The ones pointing upwards will always be one color, and the ones pointing sideways are always going to be one color on the edge.
They're so pretty.
And we can start that and see what that looks like. I have not done it yet. It was just a vision.
Yeah, and then if you do have some of the regular size GemDuos, maybe we can take a look at that a little bit later too.
Yeah, I'm hoping I have them handy. I know where I have them somewhere.
Right. Well, let's do this one first, and then we can, if there's time, we can see what we have there. If you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I don't mind. I'm trying to think of where do I know for sure I have some downstairs, and I know right where they are.
Oh,
So at a worst case, I could just run and get them.
Yeah, because I'll have a couple of things to show here for people too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And so like from here, you're just going to carry on creating a new set of rows, which we can do another set of rows if you want. If you feel like folks want to see that, but we're in the realm of just repeating.
Right.
And I was just looking at this thinking, goodness, that's a cool shape, isn't that?
Mm-hmm. It really is. That would make a great earring. It would make, there's a lot to be said for all of what you got going on there.
Yeah, that could become something. I wonder how I would, find a way to make it, even just like, well, the bead embroidery was the first thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the center, and then you just stitch things around it, pretty things around it.
Yeah, that would look great.
So there's our 3 minis and 4 11-Os. And we'll go right back through the one we're exiting. Making that side. And then reinforcing it around. I think it also gets a lot faster when you have less thread, because there's so much thread wielding happening right now that it's making it seem like like there's more happening than there is.
Yeah, people are saying that this would be a great one for bead embroidery for sure. There's a lot of really great embellishing ideas for this, I think.
Absolutely. There's so many places to tuck things in.
Yeah.
Little net. So we'll pick up an 11-0 and just connect those two. And then we'll need 11-Os, another bead. There we go. And 11-0. And we'll go back through this one in the center. Gives us our extra point there. And then here's just reinforcing that. And back through the center. And then we'll just go back up to the point on the left. And there you go.
Oh, it looks great.
It goes really fast too. That's already 3. And you end up going just, for maybe like another 40 minutes and I would have it done or less.
Right.
Just super easy. And yeah, so from any point where you feel like you've got the length that you want, it's really easy to finish it because all you've got to do is connect the edges. So super simple. And you can do that with or without the clasp added at the time you do it. And it's just 411.0.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up being a nice little jump there. And it's reinforced a lot. The thread path to reinforce that is shown in one of the diagrams at the end. And I have one here, and we can also show on this one too what that looks like. I'll switch to this one though.
And then you'll show us how to do that closure stitch.
Yep. So once you keep going, you'll end up with whichever length you want. And it actually does not matter how many you do. It's the same result, like for how you're going to attach the end. And what's even cooler is you seem to kind of end up at the same place anyway. So you can tell, here's my tail side, and our tail was left here behind. All it's going to need to do is jump over to this next bead with 4 seed beads on it and then travel in a circle there. Same thing here. On the last one, you'll end up with your thread exiting from the last bead. Here's the one we were just working on. See, we had left off right there. So you'll end up with your thread in these positions.
Very nice.
And let's see, I popped a needle on this side. So let's go with 4 seed beads. I feel like there's other things you could add here, like, the little Pelos findings and things like that. The symbols could be added here. There's so much you could do. But there's that connection there. And it's staying kind of flat right now, but when you reinforce it, it starts to form that little archway, especially when you put a clasp on it. The path to reinforce it is you step back through this one here and then head through the 11.0. And if you can get through it, the center GemDuo below it, just the next one on the path, and then you're going to make a turn and head up through that center one there, and then through the 11.0, the next Mini GemDuo, and then make that turn. You might even be able to get through the whole swoop. And I did that 3 times. You can even go with 4. And through here. If you're struggling to get through both the 11.0 and the GemDuo together, one trick you can use is just to go through the 11.0. You can press kind of toward the back to pass through a bead, sometimes entering the bead from the front and angling it so you can pass through the back. It means you're not going to scratch up the coating on your bead and get through it a little easier. You're going to start to encounter that at the 3rd pass. And then just individually going through, because the holes are not pointing in the same direction when you're going in a circle like that. So you'll feel some resistance on that. Same thing will happen here. And there it is. So you can go around one more time, or you can weave in from here, whichever you think is the best option.
Really terrific.
And here I'm going to see if I can get through. And yeah, so in this case, we're going to go through the 11.0 and just press to the back. So you're not going to be able to do that in one swoop after that 3rd pass there. And now we can get through it. To weave in, just start going down into the work. And there's lots of different thread paths you can take. From here, where we are here, we probably don't want to go back through this again because that happened a lot. So from here, I'm going to step down through the next bead and get me out of the way of all that stuff happening up there and give me some places to turn.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep going around. There we go. And that's really all there is to it. You can just, at this point, I've gone around so many times, I feel like I can trim it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like right there. All right.
Very nice.
And we can just put a clasp on that using a jump ring. Same thing happened in here with your tail thread. You just put a needle on your tail thread in the same thread path.
Gotcha. And then just add that whichever clasp floats your boat, really.
Yeah, and on the sample one, I just did some jump rings and a lobster claw. Super easy. Mm-hmm. Nothing special happened in there, but really any of those really beautiful clasps would work.
Mm-hmm.
So I can find... just any jump ring here. And the cool thing is you can change it up too. So if you don't want to keep the same clasp on it after you've been wearing it a while, you want to switch it, you can switch it. That's what I like about being a jewelry maker too, is I have replaced clasps on things that I've bought before.
Right. Into a clasp that you like better for sure.
Yeah. We are not stuck with any clasp option. We could go with whatever we want. There it is.
Oh, it looks great.
So that is all there is to it. It is really fun. I'm looking at the reverse sides. I really like the reverse sides on these. They're really pretty.
Yeah, they're really, really great. Love.
I'm thinking, where do I have the bigger GemDuos? I know I have bunches of them. So,
well, I'm going to hook up my, let me get my, I should have been doing this. Let me hook up my,
so we did a big project together and with the halos.
Right. I'm going to hook up my own
right next to me, but then like I'm not going to be able to find them. And then after I'll find them like in 2 seconds.
Right. Well, I'm going to trade the camera over in just a second here. I'm connecting it and I'll show people kind of, I'm getting prepped for the weekend and I'll show people, I'll give people a little preview while you get those bigger GemDuos together. So
yeah, let me run and get them.
Okay.
I'll grab some 8/0s too while I'm at it.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to do this. So let me connect this and we're going to change directions for just a second here while Danielle gets that stuff. But I am getting ready to, let me get this connected. Because I want to show you a little bit, this is a little bit of a riff on what we did with the odd count on Wednesday. So let me do this. Let me add this camera. Let me make sure it's the right, that I'm in there. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Let me add this in. Okay. There we are. All right. So while Danielle is finding those GemDuos, let me show you this. You folks remember I was doing the odd count peyote on Wednesday, and it was really like cementing into my brain. So what I did was I finished this bead. I took the stripe colors off of the back. Remember how I did the stripe colors there? And I just filled it in with these Picasso red A dots. And I thought, I really want to do an earring with it. I think it would really be a fun earring, or this would also be a fun pendant. Well, this weekend, I'm spending the rest of today putting up we've got kind of a fun flash sale going on for you this weekend. I am going to put up, I've had these kind of for a little bit for you, and I finally have a moment to put them up. They are some specialty check glass beads. There's going to be more than this, but I just wanted to show you a little preview of what's coming tomorrow. They're going to be in Beadshop Studio. I'm reviving Beadshop Studio for you this weekend. And this is going to be all about shapes and figures in the studio. So we've got some laser cuts, just like Danielle used in her box previous to this one, right? So we've got the laser cut. There's that tree. We've got this dandelion. We've got this turtle, this mandala, and some other ones. I just pulled these because I love these color mixes. We also have these kind of cool, wacky skulls that I love. I love this green color. I thought about using that one in this earring instead of this hand, which also would look kind of cool. We've got Buddha heads like this that are really kind of funky and kitschy, which I love. And look at these hands. These kind of Hamza hands. So those are all going to launch tomorrow morning. They're very limited. You can see that they are marked, but these aren't going to be the prices. The prices are going to be Trunk Show Beadshop Studio prices. They will not be discountable, and you can't use coupons or rewards points on Beadshop Studio items, but you will be able to get Beadshop rewards points on your purchase. Okay. So, the prices, though, I promise you, are going to be really fantastic. They're priced to move on trunk show prices. This is the first of 2 little check glass trunk shows we're going to be doing. So this will launch for the weekend. So what I did here is I created this earring, and I used this hand down at the bottom, and you can see I just used 26 gauge. I love this bead. I'm keeping a strand for myself of these guys. And you can see here what I did. I'll just walk you through it. Is I just doubled that over, that 26 gauge, doubled this over like this. And then I put a 6mm druck below from our regular druck line. I used an old Cameroon to kind of hold this tube in place, so it kind of goes up in the middle there. This is that bead tube that I made on Wednesday, the odd count. So it was odd count, so we were able to get that diamond color in there. Though you could do anything. I just wanted to use it in an earring. I thought it was kind of cool, so that's what I used. On the interior there, I lined up like 3 or 4 of these 6mm drucks on the inside. And then I put an 8mm on the top and just kind of did a messy wire wrap at the top. But it's a fun way to kind of use, I think, these check glass that have a little more whimsy to them. So that's that one there. I didn't even twist this closed, though you could do a little twist, just like that over the top of this hand. There we go. Just like that to keep it tight. And then I put in let's see where that 6mm. I don't know where that strand went. It's probably underneath here somewhere, but let me get a different, this is a 6mm fire polish. You could use that too, right? And you could see how that just sits right on the top, and you could use even something like this instead of that beaded bead that I did. You could use something like these laser cuts over the top and then wire wrap over it. You could also, I thought this looked really cool, mixing these kind of fun, kind of wacky skull beads in there too. So they're really, really fun, fun ones here. They're going to be fun to play around with. Danielle, whenever you're back, you just let me know.
Yeah, I found some.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, this is our little preview for tomorrow. So I'll put it back for, it looks pretty good. What do you think about this earring, Danielle? It's kind of fun.
Right? I love that earring. That's incredible.
It's kind of
fun. That's the coolest thing. Right? I love that. Are you teaching that?
This was just, on Wednesday, because we talked about peyote stitch, odd count peyote stitch when you were on. So I did just a little odd count tutorial. So I had this bead left over. So tomorrow I'm launching a little check bead trunk show, Danielle, that has these laser tattoo, what they call the laser tattoo beads, which is fun. This one is the old Cameroon. I'll list it for you folks in the newsletter if you like it, just so you have an idea of it. And the Buddha face, the hole runs from the chin through the top of the head this way. So it will look really good. Look at how great that Buddha head looks over that Hamza.
Oh my gosh.
It would be really great. So these are going to be all launching tomorrow. You can see some of the prices here. These are not going to be the prices. They're going to be price trunk show, special trunk show prices for you folks. But look at this beautiful, I should just take this photo I should just do this right here. This will be the newsletter photo right there, this bill.
It's inspiring.
It'll be fun. And you guys can go back and look at the winter renewal project that Danielle did with these rectangle beads. Look at this, the sea turtle in this green. Isn't it just delicious? I just love it.
Oh gosh, but I can see that in a necklace.
Yeah, it's going to be really pretty. So you'll see them all tomorrow. So Gina is asking, is there a tutorial for the tube? There is. Gina, you can look at Wednesday's live broadcast on Beadshop, and I will link this on the Beadshop homepage. Make sure and sign up for the Beadshop newsletter if you haven't already. That is our #1 communication with you. And yeah, we will have these beads up until they sell out. But if you jump on your phone, do a little shopping at Beadshop on your phone while you're waiting in the airport, my friend. But yeah, that'll be fun. Terry, the ombre multi-strand, I made that maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm sorry, I need to get all of the projects listed on the homepage, but I think that's about right. It'll be on if you go to all the videos on YouTube and just go to the live videos, you'll see it there. Okay. Okay, let me go back to you, Danielle, my friend. I don't want to hijack your
I love those beads. That's so inspiring. Now I want to make that.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy with it, to be honest. So let's see. You've got some regular size GemDuos there, don't you?
Yeah, these you'll recognize from a project we did together with here's a little piece of it. Remember this one?
Oh,
Halos.
that project is so good. So
One of my
good.
UFOs. I'll finish that someday. It's weeding
Right.
for
I
me.
know. I know. That's what I say with everything. I'll finish it someday.
Yep. And so, yeah, this is how it's working out with 11.0 and the larger ones. And it's working great. So it's looking pretty. I think it has a really nice look to it.
And if you want a bracelet that has a little more weight to it, visual weight, this will look really nice, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the 11.0 is the way to go, but I do have some 8.0s sitting here.
Okay.
We can just see what that looks like.
In this mess of what I've just shown is my beading needle. Do you ever?
Yeah.
How many beading needles are on your floor, Danielle?
Oh, I've stepped on them before. They tend to just stick in my sock. I'm usually pretty lucky and
Yeah. Well,
usually end up with it being too bad.
yeah. I try and keep Alfred away from over here because there's usually, I think, something happening on the floor over here.
Yeah, and I consider the area around my desk to be like a hazard zone.
Right.
So I usually don't worry about it too much, but
I think, Danielle, I have the perfect, I'll show one more bead when you're done with that.
oh yeah.
Perfect Danielle Wicks laser tattoo bead, but I'll show it at the end. So you're just doing the same thread path there, right? You're doing the 2 stack. Yeah, there it is. Do you mind doing maybe one more little section so we can really compare the size?
Yeah. I think it's going to be really nice, actually. It's going to work out really well.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying these beads too.
This is just simple right angle weave, right? I can't wrap my head around it because it looks so different with the GemDuos.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same exact stitch we know and love. It's no change really other than using a different bead.
So riddle me this, Danielle Wicks. Any 2-hole bead like a super duo we could probably use in a similar way, do you think? Or do you think it needs to be flat?
No, I think a super duo would work.
Okay. All right.
It would all probably work.
Just thinking out loud, you know how I like to do when you inspire me.
You'll probably whip one up and it'll be like gorgeous.
Well,
I think it would be fun to do a pattern with the super duos too.
And I do too. 12, 13.
Oh yeah, this is working.
Yeah.
Well,
really pretty. Do you ever, Danielle, when you do a pair of earrings, do you ever get second earring syndrome?
Yes.
Where you're like, great, I've done this. Well, they call that when you're knitting socks, it's the second sock syndrome. You've knit like one sock and you're like, forget it. I'll just go with this one sock. Yeah, I'm kind of doing that with this earring, but I'm going to do it.
I've got a lot of those sitting right next to me.
Right.
I'll get to them someday.
Right. Leslie wants to know, what color of frozen mat are you beading with?
Oh yeah, it's this one. It's the matte chocolate mint.
It's so good.
I love this one. It's really good.
Yes. I love that color. And
oops.
Yeah, Wendy's saying she doesn't have GemDuos, but she does have that. She does have super duos. I mean, why not try it, right? I mean, we love experimentation here. And that was something, when I went away this past week to have my sewing nirvana, it was nirvana and oblivion all at the same time. It was so fun with all my sewing friends. I thought, just push those ideas, push that creativity. I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
right? So
You'll
just,
get something you really like.
yeah, just, and look at there are ideas running fast and loose here. Look at that. Putting a crystal in the middle of the openings would move this to another level for sure. We just launched, my friends, the Preciosa strands in the 3 and 4 millimeters. They're under crystalline rhinestones, but we've also moved them into check glass so you can sort it like that. And there's another comment here, what this would look like with the Super Duo duets, right?
Yeah.
That
Oh
would be
wow, yeah.
great. And then here are those Rose Montes that are right here. So you could do a whole bunch of different stuff for sure to embellish this, right? So
Oh my
don't,
goodness. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the thread path for that would maybe make sense to actually exit from the GemDuo. First, I was thinking it had to be the 11 O's, but
oh, you mean in between, and instead of the 11-aught, use the Rose Monte.
oh, God, that could be cool too. No, I was
Is
thinking
that
of
what you were saying? No, I don't know. Maybe that's not what you were saying.
it's an even better idea. Now, the thing that was popping up in my mind was to after you got the whole design, like once you've got this whole thing done, going back through, exiting out of here, right, and heading this way, string
Right.
the Rosemonte, and then go through this GemDuo, string it, go through this one, string it, go through this one, and you just be kind of
Oh,
zigzagging.
right. So it sits in that open spot.
And it would have, because there's a hole that runs to the center of that under the
Right.
finding, like it would kind of just turn it like that and that and that and that.
Right. Right. Because that Rose Monte, I'll show you guys if you're not familiar with them. And we added them to the crystal and rhinestones, but they are also great for stitching in. Poor Janice is saying she needs her oxygen mask. Sometimes we work pretty fast around here, JP. You know that. See here. Let me see if I can get this a little tighter.
Oh wow, yeah, that's exactly. So the whole room's kind of in the center. It looks like.
Right. It's like a little cross, right? But this looks good here, and then it goes this other way, this way here. Really, really fun. I kind of want to put, where did my earring go? Let me see. I kind of want to stitch one.
Oh wow, that would be cute.
I don't know. It adds a little kind of goofy flair to it. I don't know. I love these Rose Montes so much. They're so old school, right? So old fashioned. I loved them.
They're genius.
Let me go back to this one right here. There we go. Yeah, it really looks nice. That is a good screenshot comparison, Deborah is saying. So if this is a good time to take a screenshot, everybody, and do that. Poor JP. She's saying working with Kate is like Formula One racing. I know. I'm sorry. It is. Sometimes my brain, that's how my brain works.
I think Wendy's right there with us. She's like, now I want to try 15s with the minis because that would make it much finer.
Yeah, don't you think the 15s would work, right?
Yeah. That would be cute.
Yeah, it really would. And when we throw out ideas like this, I don't want you folks to like freak out about it, right? All I want for you is to take the ideas that really make your heart sing, and then the ideas that don't, leave them just by the wayside, right? Are you using ADOTs right there?
Yeah, I just thought I would just try one little loop and
Let's
see
take a look. Yeah.
what we think of that. I just have a little scrap of thread here. It's not very long, but
I love it. But again, if the idea doesn't work for you, leave it by the wayside. It's okay.
interesting. So it's going to have one of the things that I was worried about with the 8-O's is that they would do this shifting kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what you could do is you could put an 11-0, 8-0, 11-0, and then put the GemDuo.
Oh,
And it would just be
a bigger
net, right?
net. Right.
But there's definitely something to be said for that being really cool looking, though.
Yeah, and kind of playing around with, how it looks. Yeah. And I think,
bad.
and again, remember for bead embellishment or for bead embroidery, making those little components, that little compass component that you have there, and then stitching that on as an embellishment is really fun to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That could be so fun.
Yeah, really fun. All right. Well, Danielle, I think that we have really gotten a lot of fun ideas out there for people today.
Oh, yeah. Good ideas for me to
Yeah.
chase those down now, right?
There we go. And I will so don't forget, folks, to grab your Neon Notebook Gem Weave handout. Everything is detailed there for you. And I'll remove that. There we are. I'll remove this. See, I'm starting my other. Yeah, I'm gonna do a second, Oh, everybody's having a good time. I'm so glad that people are enjoying it. Let me put this one underneath the camera so people can see this. This is the one that we will make a date with Danielle to do this is that herringbone earring that she sent me a while back. Super fun. And there's a couple of questions that I'll have answered, but there it is. I don't know if you can see it on my ear, but it's nice. I think it's a fun one. It's a good one for summer, for kind of those flowy outfits you're wearing. Let me remove this. A couple of questions here. Oh, and I love such kind comments. Deborah's saying today has been the tonic she's been needing. Thank you so much. What a sweet comment that is. Wendy is saying thank you for the creative boost, which I love. And Janice is asking if we use them as embellishments, would we go back through and reinforce them? I think that is what I would do. I would make the component, I'd reinforce it so it was like one little component itself, and then I would go ahead and stitch it on, because I think there'll still be room in the holes for stitching.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There will be. And it definitely, the shape pops more when you fill it with thread. The beads, like particularly with those 8-O's, I think if I'd gone around one more time, it might have tightened that look up a little bit.
Yeah. And I think it'll be those I see, because I still have, I told everybody to go out and get their tie from the the thrift store, but in this little check tie, those little embellishments would just be fantastic on here, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it would be really fun. Yeah, super fun to do. Oh, and Elaine is saying this is great. I'm not the fastest beater around, but I think I have enough projects from Neon Notebook to last me for months. Thank you. So I love that. I love it. And Karen saying she's got a ton of ideas from this. There was so much love in the comments. So thank you, folks, for that love. We do have some extras for the Neon Notebook and the extras of the beads. So jump in and shop if you folks are ready, to add a few more of the super duos or whatever it is you want to your things. And the Buddha beads, definitely could be used in that embroidery project. Let me take this off. We're going to be doing some more embroidery soon because I've got some more embroidery components coming. And I don't know, Danielle. I mean, it could just be me thinking about things, but I have seen ever since I've started bead embroidery, I am seeing bead embroidery all over the place. So I don't know if I'm being a trendsetter or I've just tapped into to what's going on in the jewelry world. I like to think I'm a trendsetter.
I think so too. Yeah. And also once you have an idea, you will see inspiration for it everywhere you look.
Yeah, everywhere you look, for sure. So here are the GemDuos, the mirrored ones that we did in that mirrored mix. Look at how obviously they need to be stitched together and they need that that 11-aught in there. But yeah, I love doing this this little component right there. Look at how fun that'll be. And the Buddha would look just like it would. You can stitch them on, or you can, you can use it like these hands, right? I love it. I love it. So yeah, I like to think I'm a trendsetter, but I know it's a big trend right now for sure. I love it. I love it. So I can't wait to see what you folks are into. So I can't wait for that. All right. Well, Danielle, thank you. I will see you for Neon Notebook wrap up next week, right?
Next Saturday. Yeah, I can't believe it's already the wrap up party.
I know, it's crazy.
Wow, quickly.
Oh, I promised I'd show you. Let me show you these. This is the Danielle Wicks.
Ooh.
Those are so, I don't know why I feel like that color palette.
I like that.
I love it. So these will be up for tomorrow's show as well. Tomorrow's little check bead trunk show that are happening. I just love these. These would be great for embellishing. That's all I want to do is do bead embroidery. That's it. That's all I want.
I think it sounds great. So those are gorgeous beads.
Yeah, we'll just turn it into a bead embroidery channel. That's it. That's all we're doing. Well, thank you so much again, Danielle, and thank you for this great handout. It was really, it's so clear and really great to follow along. I cannot wait to see what you folks create with all of this. So again, mark your calendars. Next Saturday, which is the 28th, I think.
Yep.
That's going to be the wrap-up party with Danielle and I and Nile. We're going to do a wrap-up. We're also going to do, it's the stretchy bracelet party. It's already on and scheduled, so you can set yourself a reminder. Also, tomorrow, I'm not going to be doing a live. I'm going to actually be with my Fiber Guild, but the Check Glass Trunk Show will drop at midnight tonight and go all weekend long. So I hope you folks will love the selections that we've made for you. They're a little fun. So I think you're going to like them. So yeah, don't worry, Terry, you have not missed the stretchy bracelet party. But pick up your Opalon for that, for those stretch bracelets. And we have, if you want to try all sizes, we have the Opalon samplers for you as well. I tried it on a bracelet, and I love it. I love it.
Do you like it?
I really do. I feel like it has maybe a little more staying power than the Stretch Magic, to be honest. So, and yeah, your Opalon came in the kit, but we're also selling, if you go to the stretchy stringy materials, we've got it on Beadshop. We've got the sampler of all the sizes, so you can try it out. Nice. We also added it in black. I know in the kit you have it in the white there as well.
Yeah, it's been really fun. We'll have a good time. Let's go crazy making bracelets.
Yeah, I can't wait. It really goes through a needle very well, like a big eye needle or a collapsible eye needle. So it's a lot of fun to work with. All right. Well, I will see you next week with Janice. Janice is going to be on with me on Wednesday. We have kind of a fun little something happening there on Wednesday. So yeah, we'll have a good time. So thanks, Danielle. I'll see you next week. Janice, I'll see you next Wednesday. I want all the rest of you to have a fantastic and creative weekend. Happy spring, everybody. We've made it to spring. I love it. Stay creative, and we so appreciate all of you. And in the words of our dear Zach, absolutely fantabulous session. I could not agree more. Thank you so much, Danielle. All right. Talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.